country is going. We have forefathers who have risked their lives, risked their fortune, and everything so that we could have this great country. And the people in power right now are changing it to whatever they think it should be, and it's not what the citizens of this country want it to be.
When she was asked recently what in the Constitution entitled the House of Representatives to adopt legislation directing all of us to specify positions or making decisions for us about what kind of insurance we'd have and so on, the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi, responded by laughing and saying, "You must be kidding." To her, the idea that the Constitution put any limitation on the power of the federal government to prescribe various kinds of behavior for you or various kinds of medical treatment for you was literally laughable.
But there are two definite distinctions, two schools of thought for judges. And you see this divide on the U.S. Supreme Court as well as Supreme Courts of the various states. There's the first school of thought, which is the judicial conservative school of thought. This is the correct one. These judges, including myself, believe that the Constitution should be interpreted and applied as originally written. You look to the intent of the Founding Fathers, you look to the actual words that they used, and whether you agree with it or not, you apply it the way that it's written. So, if I, as a judicial conservative, if they pass a law in Madison that I don't really agree with, as a judge, I'm bound to uphold that law, and I'll do so. That's the way it has to be.
My folks, I can hear your silent prayer. We've been standing here for 2.5 hours. We've heard all these wonderful speeches, but it's time now for action. I guarantee you I will be brief. I hear your prayer. The question is now, how do we translate everything that we've heard today that you can make a difference with our Constitution? I must tell you, I disagree with everything that's been said here today. Our Constitution isn't worth the paper it was written on, because it was created by hypocrites, all white, racist slaveholders who refuse to declare black people as equal. Do I have your attention? Those words were spoken to me 6.5 weeks ago in front of 4,000 students in South Carolina at a high school assembly, interrupting my presentation. The young man stood up and received applause for the other 800 students in his particular area. On the 17th of December, your president signed an executive order giving Interpol, an international police agency, power to operate in this country, giving them authority over U.S. citizens without the protection of the Constitution. The President of the United States of America denies U.S. citizens constitutional protections from an international agency. And a few days later, his Attorney General declared the terrorists who murdered 3,000 Americans on 9/11 would be granted constitutional rights in our court of law. Is there anyone here from the state of Hawaii? Anyone who's ever lived in Hawaii? Aloha no kaukou kahakiaka me pomehana. Sounds very wonderful, doesn't it? Simply means there are no towels in the men's room. But the language is so beautiful. Senator Daniel Inouye from the Aloha State of Hawaii was recently asked, do you realize, sir, 90% of what you do in the Senate is unconstitutional? Senator Inouye replied, quote, if Congress does it, it's constitutional. That from the second longest serving senator in America. sounds very similar to what your Speaker of the House, the Congressional Madonna with the frozen smile, and apparently several other augmented procedures said. I'm going to suggest to you, we'll be brief, we'll get to the end. You need to know one another, talk to one another. You need to interact, and you need to have a strategy to take this Constitution and put it in action. I suggest to you, my friends, if we can't answer that 16-year-old student and those 3 highly misguided public servants, then the Second American Revolution will have failed, and the Constitution will be irrelevant.